like a curse is with Headhunter and long range or sharpshooter. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I picked up a lot of gun items. What's funny is...
Oh my god, look at those
I went to
punches!
stop.
If you ask the pros, what is the best character in the game, they will tell you idiotic things like, oh, it depends on team comp, and oh, what time of the game is it? I call Croc. The only way to determine the best hero in the game is through a 6v6 mono-hero single elimination tournament. That is the only 100% fair way. Today's match?
Lash versus 7, ladies and gentlemen, we are live with yet another incredible event. We have so many things to talk about in this game. This is the first One Trick Championship game filmed in the new patch, as you can see by looking at the bottom left. We have our traditional team here. We have a Curse as our co-caster.
Hello.
And Bread Rolius on observation. Now, there's two very important things we need to talk about this game. You might notice over the course of the game that one of the players playing in the game is a Curse, and a Curse is also casting. Is he that talented? Yeah. No, we just.
I'm actually just time traveling.
You're time traveling, so you already know the
timelines
of the
have
game.
split.
Yes. This is how powerful the GlutenSnake is. He will split the timelines if he needs to. But yes, we did not have enough lashes. A Curse was very nice, and he was like, I'll play, and we did not have enough 7s. And Bread Rolius was like, oh, no, sorry. Bread Rolius, you were Lash, right?
Yes, I'm the one with walkthrough.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes, so we needed 2 more lashes. Bread Rolius and a Curse volunteered themselves for that glorious role. And here we are. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about before we start talking about the game. The second thing is we have been seeing, at least at the moment of recording, it might be fixed by the time this video makes it to YouTube. We have been seeing a lot, and I mean a lot of reports about Split Shot being completely broken as an item. So we just decided to go ahead and ban it. So this game is the first game in the history of One Trick Championship that has a banned item. Normally it would not be a banned item, but we have to do it because there's just so many things you can do. You can like do 3k damage in one shot, so many different bugs. But yeah, we want to keep competitive integrity. We cannot wait for Valve to fix all their bugs. Anyhow, Curse, tell me a little bit about this game.
I believe in the past we have banned certain use cases of abilities, but never an item. Anyways, this 7v Lash game was incredible. From my knowledge of splitting the timelines, of course.
Yes,
we're about to see a fight on this lane, and it's going to be a lot of damage traded.
Yes. It is... both characters have very good teamfight ults. Some of the best teamfight ults in the game. 7 can just deny a whole area through his ult, and Lash can grab the 7 right out of the sky and just throw him in the ground, where he deserves to be. God, I've died too many times to both ults. So, a Curse, you might be a little bit biased, but who do you think has the edge in this sort of format? Do you think it's the Lash or the 7?
You know, as a member of the Lash Nation, putting my bet on Lash.
You're putting your bet on Lash. You're putting your life on Lash. Yeah, I mean, Lash is really powerful. He does have a lot of ability, which is incredibly useful, especially in the new map. We talk about the new map, but it's been a couple of months at this point, right? We've had this new map.
Technically,
yeah, I think so.
Yes. We recently got even more changes to the map, which I think a lot of people suspected after that accidental, in quotation marks, moving of the side shops. But it has been a while since we got that big map rework that changed the map to be 3 lanes instead of 4.
Yes.
Lash mains will forever miss that huge museum in the middle of the map that allows you to gank the other side lane. I mean mid lane.
Yeah, the tower has been gone for like a month and a half. I cannot believe it was in the game for that long. But yeah, 7 on the other hand, very powerful character. He does have that stun, which is so valuable if you're chasing Lashes all the way to base. Because, you know, you can just stun them in air. See, like what's happening right now. Well, the 7 cannot see it. Unfortunately,
we're already seeing a slowing hex on Cheesy right there. Did you see that?
A slowing hex? I mean, it's really smart. You remove ability from those 7s. Vortex later on could be really good, especially if you're playing the Vortex and the Lightning or something. So yeah, I like it. It's a very, very good pick.
It's a very smart buy.
Yeah.
I believe itemization is going to be key in the game for both of these teams. Because, I mean, against this team of Lashes, you are going to be needing Unstoppables. You're going to be needing Ethereal Shifts. Because if you don't, it's just going to be ult after ult after ult. And there's just going to be nothing you can do.
Yes, we did see the ult after ult after ult effect in the Lash Vindicta game, where the poor Vindictas were taken from the sky to the ground, then back to the sky, then back to the ground, and so on and so forth. And so they're up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lash versus Vindicta game was certainly a showing of how you need to itemize against Lash, or else you will fail.
Without a shadow of a doubt. It is just very important. The E shift now costs 6k, which, well, 6.4k, no longer 6k, right? Even more
I
expensive.
believe it's 6.4k, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we do see the first ult. Yeah, no, E shift is like the most traditional anti-lash item. But we're gonna see how the subs are gonna be able to play this one. Now, it is worth talking about being able to stun these Lashes while they're mid-ult. If you're very good at it, if you see them in the air, you just press the stun button. And they are not allowed to ult because they will just stun themselves out of ult. And that is a very powerful power set. But we do see the Lashes have a little bit of an early game advantage, 3k. Probably the good place from Curse. And
you know, just carrying them on my back.
Yes. Good old. Yeah, the Lash just keep going in.
Disco,
very, very good.
That was a great dive. I don't know if he actually gets away from static there, though. Seems like he does.
Yeah.
It came to my attention during the game, but reactive barrier currently is also bugged. Not as much as split shot, so it isn't really an issue. But reactive barrier does not go down. It stays forever. It cannot stack, but it just stays forever if it triggers, which is very powerful, and I believe a bunch of Lashes use that.
Oh yeah, I mean, you need the reactive barrier is so good against the stuns. I presume that. Well, so you're saying it stays, so stuff like what's it called, Veil Walker will reset it.
Actually, Veil Walker doesn't
Veil Walker
do
now does
anything with
HP,
barriers
right?
anymore. Veil Walker is just a heal now. Yeah.
Yeah, Veil Walker just does HP, no more barrier heal. Yeah, very interesting. But
it's probably deserved. The item was really, really overpowered, and they just couldn't balance it. We see
I mean, Veil Walker is now a
7
3K
by
item,
casual
right?
there. I believe the 7s are going to get the tower.
yes. I mean, like, this is like one of the core strengths of the 7s, their ability to get objectives.
Yeah.
The balls, because, you know, they stick to the ground, right? They also stick to Guardians and Walkers. They can do a lot of damage pretty quickly. And the 7s also have their Tesla bullet shots. So what are they called, the Curse? I forget always.
I believe it is Power Surge.
Power Surge, yes.
The 7s just have so much area denial in their kit. It's going to be hard to push these 7s.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, because even in the worst case scenario, they're pressed, they don't have any ammo, they can just press 4 and suddenly you have to leave, and you have to leave quickly. And usually the technique that Lashes will use to leave quickly is to just grapple somebody, right? But the only target is up in the sky, so you have to grapple to them. I mean, if you're a Manuel tier player, you probably can. Can you do it very consistently in the middle of a 7 ult? Probably not. We do love Manuel. He's not playing in this game, surprisingly.
Yeah, it was very surprisingly.
Yes. But we still do have a very, very cool cast of players. This is one thing I've completely forgot to mention it. So we have had our fair share of EU players in these games. We've had a couple of players from South America, but we have never had an Australian player. And this is the first game where we've had an Aussie Drongo. It's Jay Stacked. That was a horrible Australian accent.
I believe
and
we
Disco
have two
Virtuoso, yes,
Australians,
there's two
right?
Australian players. But yeah, Disco Virtuoso is a player that I'm fairly familiar with. For people who don't know, he's Eternus 6 in NA despite being in Australia. He is well known for his Lash degeneracy, and he's very well known for playing at 180 ping and still being one of the top players in NA. What does that say about NA, Curse?
Not much good.
Not much good.
Not much good.
Yeah, but Jai Stacked, also E6, also from Australia, has participated in Deadlock quite nice, incredible player, and we were talking, and he was like, oh, you know who you should invite to this game? Should be Disco Virtuoso, let me ping him. And there he is. So yeah, 2 Australians in this game. 2 Australians, 1 European, 9 Americans, all of them at least Ascendant 1. So yeah, very, very cool stuff.
Representing the Outback, mate.
Yes, Mike. Yeah.
We should, for the rest of this, we should just speak an Australian accent.
I think that's how our challenge is.
How's your Australian accent, Blue?
My Australian accent? Certainly worse than my Gru accent, I do have to say. Yeah, no, my Australian accent is probably a lot weaker than it should be. I'll do like the classic, like, oh, shrimp in the bobby. Crikey, mate. That sort of thing, but I do not trust myself in holding a full conversation in any sort of Australian accent, or frankly, any accent, including Gru
We're already
accent.
seeing 2 walkers go down for the 7. This is
Yes, huge objective damage from G7. They're sacking a couple players
Lashes
for
get
it.
good picks though.
Yes. I mean, like, so here's the thing. Losing walkers now is very valuable because now you only need 2 walkers to get your 3rd flex slot. So it is very good. The 7s have all the flex slots that they need. But however, the soul difference is only 3k despite them being 2 walkers up. Which means that if the Lashes in the future win a single fight, they'll be able to push the walker, and suddenly, not only will your lead evaporate, the Lashes are going to be well ahead. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
want
still
talk
have
a
to
little
consider
bit.
the fact that the 7s are 2 flex slots ahead though. Like, that is a incredible lead, even if it isn't in like a liquidated soulful. Especially now, because we're down. I believe you start the game with 4 less slots than you used to.
Yes. Yeah, but also items are a lot more powerful in theory on what they do and do not. Some items are pretty much the exact same item, but there's just so many tech choices. And we are going to talk about this as we get into endgame, and we stop going from like, oh, these are the core stuff that you need for every build, and we start going to tech choices. We'll see a little bit of map confusion happening there. I think the way that the tunnels work has changed a bit in the patch. This was filmed, for the record, on the Monday right after the patch. Still very, very early. Certainly not enough time for a full meta to develop. Yeah, it's been really funny seeing 7 go from a constant pick in competitive games to seeing 7 be picked. No, not a single time in GlutenSnake's done 7, I want to say. I could be wrong. But
It is very surprising. I think the reason 7 isn't getting picked as much because farming isn't really necessary for a fed player anymore. So you don't really need this dedicated farm character like you used to for a 7.
Whoa, what an escape! Can he pull it off?
I don't know if 7 gets away. The
Oh, what
Lash
a punch!
is there.
What an
Oh my
escape!
god!
What a chase across the map!
Incredible parry. But like I was saying, I think 7's slight fall from relevancy is because you don't really need a dedicated farm character anymore. Because you can just soul funnel someone now if you want to get them farmed, and that's going to be infinitely better than just a dedicated farmer.
Yes, and I do want to say, when you have one character like a 7 in the game, that's completely fine because there's so efficient at getting the farms. But when you have 6 of them, they're just gonna dry up the farm so quickly. And it's not even a big advantage. Anyhow, the Lash does get picked and the urn does get stolen. Very big fight happening. Those Lashes are so good at urn fights. Isn't that true, Curse?
Yes, Lash is very good at urn fights because of his ultimate and the amount of damage he can do in a short amount of time.
So it's, yeah, just very powerful. Anyhow, the Lashes do manage to get 2 picks. That's enough to make the 7s back down. And maybe a 3rd one, too. They force him all to get him, but yeah, Article is already gone.
Green Walker is under attack.
There's
Yeah,
only
this is what I was saying.
7
Win
left
one
to
team
defend.
fight, and suddenly you're equal in souls. And now you can push those walkers,
Yeah.
maybe. However, Lash is one of the struggles of Lash. And we're going to switch a little bit to the Accursed camp to see how Accursed is solving it. Because I remember what the hell he was building. But it's they don't have a lot of DPS. They mainly go for spirit stuff. They go for you know, grapples. They go for ground pounds. But they are not like gun characters, unless of course you're playing like Accursed is with Headhunter and long range or sharpshooter. Like
Yeah, I picked up a lot of gun items. What's funny is
oh my god, look at those punches!
I want to stop my train of thought for a second. In the notes I received from Logan, at that moment, what is noted is 1615 occurs loser punches the 7. At this point, emphasize how loser it is to punch.
It is winner behavior to punch, especially when I press F right before you punch. Winner behavior.
True.
Keep punching at me. But yeah, no, sometimes, like in early lane, punches are more expected, but like in late, you just don't expect several light punches in a row. Like
Yeah, I
Lash.
don't think the 7 really expected me to just light melee spam there.
Yes. Spirit
Kind of
Burn
the
gets
benefit
fought.
of it.
We do have to talk a little bit about Spirit Burn, don't we? That's really affected the meta as one of the best items in the game right now. Right, Eggers?
Yes, Spirit Burn is a very powerful item due to the lack of that anti-heal available in this game now. Anti-heal is so much harder to come across, and when you do come across it, it's going to be much worse than it used to be. I believe Leech used to give like 60% anti-heal, correct me if I'm wrong, but now Leech doesn't even give anti-heal, and its predecessor Healbane doesn't even build into it anymore.
Yeah, Spirit Burn is so easy to trigger. We have been talking a little bit amongst our circle of friends, and there's general consensus that you can get Mercurial Magnum or whatever the ability is called. You don't even need to be a spirit character. You can easily trigger 400 spirit worth of damage and get minus 70% heal on everybody.
There's just so little of an investment required to get that Spirit Burn to work that there's no reason for you to not have it on a team, especially against a character like 7, who is known for his incredible healing potential.
It's just a very, very powerful character in terms of that. But I mean, he has lost one of the core tools. Well, not lost, but it has certainly shifted. What was before the patch? What was the first item that every 7 bought?
Leech.
You're saying that before the patch, the first item that every 7 would buy in lane was Leech?
Yes.
Yes.
They rush Leech immediately.
Yes.
I think everyone.
Curse was playing in very different lobbies to me, but at my a lot lower level lobbies, Oracle.
I don't think
Commander
anyone ever
lobbies.
heard of the item Infuser before the patch.
So true. But yes, Infuser is exactly the item I was thinking for. That was the first item every 7 would pick. It would give you 20% lifesteal. It got nerfed to 15% for a couple seconds, and that's so valuable with 7's kit. Now Infuser is a 6k item, a 6.4k item that is, but it also gives you 80% lifesteal, which is insane if you have Unstoppable, because you can just deny so much space. Just press 4, press Infuser, press Unstoppable, and then for a couple of seconds you're completely and utterly untouchable by these lashes.
Yeah, Unstoppable is going to be a great item.
So, tell me a little bit, what were the Lashes thinking at this point in the game? It is a 20-minute game. It is pretty equal. I mean, as we go deeper into the bracket, some of the heroes that did not work really well as groups of 6 are gone. And I'm glad to see that this game is pretty equal so far. So
Yeah,
what were the
definitely.
Lashes
I think these matches are going to be a lot fairer because a lot of those weaker matchups were gotten rid of. But what we were really thinking in this moment is we were trying to get a pick on one of the 7s to really just get that leverage to be able to push one of the walkers. Because right now we were kind of stuck because they had a few 7s that were really, really fed, and the rest of us were just kind of middle of the road. None of us could really be able to push without that pick. And I believe that's what we're seeing on that mid lane.
Yes. It's just, this is like one of the things I was talking about. It's just so hard to push these 7s because every time they push you, you just press 4. And it is harder to do Lash type stuff, get the 7s out of the air, etc., etc. If you are next to the walker, you get resistances, you get a lot of tools in your equipment. It's hard to extract the 7s because they can just hide in crevices. You really, really need an advanced situation. So these earn fights are becoming that advanced situation.
Yeah. And especially when it comes to playing against a character like 7, where 7, as mentioned before, has incredible area denial. What are you really supposed to do if you don't get a pick there?
Yeah, it's just difficult. It's just difficult. But we're gonna see how you guys are gonna pull it off. We do see not 1, not 2, but 3 picks here. Is this the point where you push the walker? We'll see. But talk a little bit about the items. So I noticed that there's 2 Lashes that are putting guns, namely you with your sharpshooter build, and most of the Lashes have gone for a 7 type. Sorry, for a spirit type build, right?
Yes. My build on Lash actually is both of the gun Lashes actually are entirely just from the buy menu. There is no build for them because currently, at the time that this was recorded, there were a grand total of 0 gun Lash builds on the build menu.
I mean, Lash's gun is one of the weaker guns in the game, isn't it? Like, I don't really think about Lash as a good gun character at all.
Gun Lash usually is bad, but in a case like this where you really need to diversify your damage, it can serve its purpose.
Yeah, it's just that, you know, as Lash, you're waltzing around so much, you're hovering, whatever you're doing. I just would find it very difficult to correctly aim under these circumstances, right? You would have to be a champion. You would have to be as good as Akers is. And by God, is Akers a good player. So, Boundless Spirit coming in. Boundless Spirit now heals you a little bit as well every time you use the skill. And these Lashes, sorry, are gonna be grappling around so often, right?
Yeah. Boundless Spirit is a very good item for Lash still, and it was before the patch
being
as well.
forced. There's no contest from the Lashes. Sorry, we have to interrupt our regular transmission. And yeah, first mid goes to the 7s. Now, how do you rate the mid capacity of each of the characters?
I think both are pretty equal when it comes to mid, because you have to consider the fact that the 7s, normally, when it comes to 7, you'll have to decide with your team if you are the one that is going to be contesting or if you are going to ult. But with the 7s, because there are 6 7s, they can just all fight Unstoppable, because Unstoppable is already core on 7. But because all of them are really, really incentivized to buy that Unstoppable, we don't really have to make that decision. All they have to do is just go mid, Unstoppable, and eventually some of them are going to ult, which allows them to get that really lethal mid. But you also have to consider the fact that Lash ult is also good at mid. If they mess up and have too many people ulting, then what are you really going to do against that 7 ult if the person that's trying to steal isn't unstopped?
Yeah, no, it's just very difficult. Unstoppables are going to be a very, very important component for both characters here. That's how you avoid those last goals. That's how you avoid those 7s. Wouldn't surprise me a lot. And we do already see 7s with Unstoppable. Scourge? Is that Scourge occurs?
Yes, that is Scourge.
Yes. Talk me a little bit through the Scourge choice.
I believe the Scourge choice was a choice made by, I think, a few of the Lashes, because Scourge gives you a big chunk of spirit resist. So what a lot of people were doing is they were building that spirit resist and then buying Scourge for that extra spirit resist, because you can also apply it to allies.
Yeah, it's very nice. But however, I'm always thinking of Lashes just waltzing around, right? So to me, getting an item that requires you to be very close proximity to your enemy sounds like the opposite of what Lash likes doing, right?
I think it depends. I definitely don't think that it's a rush item outside of a case like this where it's 6 7s. But it's definitely not the worst item for Lash. Especially because Tank Buster got nerfed. So 2 ticks from Scourge is already as much max health damage as Tank Buster would be. And you would still have like 8 more ticks of that to go.
Yeah. But
Like,
anyhow, minute 27 of the game, and we see 160k souls on one side, 162 on the other. This is a very, very equal game, isn't it?
yes, incredibly equal.
Yeah. Which is good, because I'll be very honest, I was fairly convinced it would be it wouldn't be a hard victory for the 7s here. The stunts would be very useful, the everything, and now it's 27 minutes in. I've been wrong so far. But yeah, a little bit of a big fight at lane number 3. We do see one of the 7s, 2 of the 7s there. 4 or 5 flashes. Is that 7 going to be able to get away? Statue does decide to press ult. And will there be any support? No, there will not. Very big ball 2 lost right there. And
Yeah.
the Lashes just
And
get
I believe
a lot
that's
of
the
picks.
first ethereal shift from the 7.
Yeah, kind of mandatory at this game, even at 6k, right?
Even if you have that unstoppable, you're going to want a few ethereal shifts. Because what are you really going to do when that unstoppable runs out? Or if you do eat a flash ult with that unstoppable,
So many ults.
what are you going to do
My
when another
God.
one waits out and then ults you again?
So many ults. My God. Yeah. It's yeah. Well, we're looking at the Lashes. I don't think much is gonna happen in lane number 2, but lane number 3, I think the Lashes might be able to get that second walker that they really need for their 3rd flex slot. Did you see a Lash teabagging? Nah, I don't think it's teabagging. Wait, 1-7. Wait, there's 1-7 approaching very boldly where no man has ever gone before. It is Statue, and he does press unstoppable, and he dies. Oh, that wasn't great.
Incredible push by Stat. I mean, what were the
created
Lashes
so much
supposed to do
space.
there?
Yeah. They were all supposed to retreat, I think. That was the game plan. But I mean, no, I've been on that side. Like, I see a walker, he's full health. I press F. I'm trying so hard to speed to there. By the time I'm there, the walker's completely gone. And I am just throw the Kudzu and Alk Fire the stone form. And suddenly I find myself next to 5 people who are like, oh, no walker protection aura, nowhere for you to back. We're going to kill you. And then I get killed because I have nothing. So yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
it happens to everyone.
Yeah. But yeah, how are Aussie players doing? So let's look at what J-Stack is building now. He's building E-Shift. I see Trophy Hunter. I see Spirit Resist. Very, very smart tech. You want a lot of Spirit Resist in this sort of game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that bullet thing? The 2-item bullet.
That is Mystic Shot.
Makes sense. Not an abnormal 7-tech. Very big stuff. What about Disco Virtuoso, our second... Oh, he is running away with Scourge. He is running away underground. Okay, let's see what he's building. Mercurial Magnum. He's being chased right now, actually. This might be a little bit of a battle. Wick is full health here. Is he going to be able to pull it off?
Yeah,
massive
Wick is just
chase.
incredibly tanky.
Yes. That was a weird slide. That might have been like a weird animation bug or something. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the build. Oh, wait! No, Wick's in the closet! Wick is in the closet! Very big fight happening! Is that gonna be enough? That is not gonna be enough.
I think it was a big misplay for them to try and fight that fish.
Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about this mid boss. Only 3 7s are here. Do any of them have unstoppable?
I would
And a
assume
curse
so.
is
There's
dead.
7. Yeah, I threw there.
Okay, a bunch of unstoppables coming in. Massive.
Just like I
Oh,
said,
you go in!
they don't
It's there.
really-
Hey,
the
no, the
sevens don't
7s get it.
coordinate for it, and the 7s get that because you just have so many unstoppables that you don't really need to coordinate who ults and who doesn't.
Yeah. Figure it out. But yeah, the 7s managed to get the second one. That's very impressive. But yeah, game is still pretty cool. Still a little bit Lash favored, but that mid boss is gonna favor the 7s massively here.
Yeah.
Lash isolated out of position. Yeah, the 7s are having a little bit of problem chasing. I think you guys are just so fast for them. Don't 7s get like a lot of walking speed or sprint speed
Yes.
whenever
7 move speed scales up spirit.
very, very valuable. Without a shadow of a doubt.
And I believe this is patron weakened.
But yeah, the 7s just have
This-
incredible objective damage. If they out macro you even for a second, you're in a very, very bad spot. They can immediately force that that patron, and you know that weakened patron is just easy pickings. If you get even
Yeah.
1 or 2 lashes, die. Very precarious position.
It's just very difficult to fight against 7s, especially when you have 6 of them.
Yeah, and the unstoppables certainly are not helping. Like, how do you, like, what sort of tech would you as Lash need to counter unstoppable? Silences? Like
I
curses?
think the tech that we went through whenever the 7s would ult is, I believe, Silencer and Inhibitor. Because both of those decrease the damage of that 7 ult. So we
Wait,
would try to
doesn't
wait
inhibitor only
it out.
reduce bullet damage? Does the new inhibitor
No,
reduce all damage?
Inhibitor is a global 35% damage reduction, and Silencer is a 25% spirit reduction. Silencer actually used to be 40% spirit reduction before it got nerfed, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Before, Silencer used to be one of the few counter items, I would say, in the game that were a main part of builds rather than like a nice side, nice to have. Now there's just so many items that you can pick, both in all 3 categories, like Witch armor, Spellbreaker, so much cool tech that's now available to counter people.
Yeah. I think the game is a lot more counter-based now that the new item system is in the game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not a
Incredible
bad thing,
ult
right?
by me, I mean,
What a good
how
Lash.
could that ult have been better?
What a good Lash. just very, very difficult to see. Oh my god. It must be very disoriented being part of the game and just keep hearing like 7 ults and realizing there's no end to this, right? Oh, huge last ult! Massive 3 ult 3! That's so much damage. Wick is maybe out? No, he is not. And now 1 Lash in the air, 1 7 in the air. There's nothing to get him with, but I mean, you can probably outlast his ult at this point. By God, those were fantastic Lash ults. Will that 7 escape? Probably not, right?
I don't think he does. Yeah.
Oh God,
that's
a
all the
full
7s except
team
for 1
wipe.
dead.
Wow. However, no lanes. There's not much you can tangibly push for. There's a bit of map control, but presumably everybody would be up. Urn is grabbed by the 7. Very, very smart tactical choice. Keep the Urn in base. Get ready for the next team fight. So yeah, I mean, 36 minutes into the game, and I'm not sure if it's the new patch. The new games do feel a little bit longer, or if it is just how equal the teams are. But even after all of this, we only have a 15k soul difference on the board. That is less than 10%.
It's a combination of the fact this item system is brand new and changes the entire game, and the fact that since we are later on in the bracket, a lot of those worst matchups are already gone.
So, yeah, it's, this is like part of an unfortunate thing. I did create the bracket very randomly. I didn't think of any other good way to create the bracket, because yes, there's some stuff that people kept asking. Everybody wanted a Lash v Bebop match. We might get a Lash v Bebop match, maybe in the finals.
Yeah, still not out the picture.
Still not out of the picture. So yeah, Lash, Bebop did win their game against, was it Geist? Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the next video is very likely to be, next video is very likely to be, do we see the Deadlock network offline thingy?
Yes.
Huh, it's wonky. Well, thankfully this is a recording, so no need to worry about anything. It is a Tuesday, it does go offline for a little bit. But yeah, the game is fine. You can see the people moving. They are not bots, they are real players. I do have real people who do these videos with me. Of course, it's not an AI bot voice that I put on. Or my very, very good imitation of a radio person from the 1930s.
I'm actually an AI created by GlutenSnake.
Yes. Gluten intelligence. But sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, the Lashes, the Bebops did beat the Geist. You should check that game. I think it is either the most watched or the second most watched game in the tournament series. And they are going to be going, and probably it's the next video we're going to have out against Moes. So 6 Bebops against 6 Moes coming up. And I think it's going to be a fantastic game. We do have a whole bunch of Moes interested in it, including Sheer, who is one of the Lashes in this game as well, I think. And Falcon, the person who does the very famous Hyperlight Mauler or whatever build it is for Moes. But yeah, a whole bunch of big Moes. But let's talk a little bit about the team fight. These Scourges are doing so much work.
Team fight going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scourge does a lot of damage, like I was saying. It does an incredible amount of max HP damage. Big ults.
Yeah, the ults into ults have been disgusting for the Lashes. Very, very powerful. A Curse is dead. Boo. Yeah, no, it's one of the important things is worth saying, and we did see this a little bit with the McGinnis v Pocket game. The McGinnis v Pocket game was a fantastic game. You should go watch it. But the way that it ended essentially was the Pockets, 5 of the Pockets afflicted at the same time all the McGinnises, and they immediately got debuff removed. And then the McGinnises just managed to delete Patron. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that we keep seeing these 7s all go in the air at the same time. But wait, they are forcing mid here! Oh my god! This is gonna be fascinating.
Good ult. I don't think that's anywhere near enough for that mid steal though.
Yeah.
because they've
There are a lot of
wasted
unstoppables
two
occurs.
ults.
Oh no, two
lot
sevens
of
are dead!
damage,
A
actually.
Scourge comes in, and it's not gonna be enough. No, it's not.
And
The
the Lashes
Lashes!
steal that mid.
The Lashes get revenge for
Incredible
mid
play.
number 2. Mid number 3, it is now theirs. What a game. I am
I
enjoying
believe
it
that's enough
so
to
much.
weaken the patron there.
Yes. Yeah, it is only 1-7 left right now. And I don't know how much you can delay right now. But yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed patron here. You're going to get Shrines. You're going to get all base Guardians. And only 1-7 left. Is he going to be able to back on time? No, he is not. Static has to die. And yeah, with 4, 5, 6, 7s dead, it is just so difficult to be able to get this.
Yeah, I mean, what is this last 7 supposed to do?
I mean, jump in the air, press unstoppable, and press 4? Delay for a little bit.
That's just what happens. You get staggered if you try to do that.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
that's going to be patron.
a lot of the 7s are coming back at a very similar time. You just need to delay a little bit where possible. But,
I
yeah.
can't afford to get caught off guard.
Okay, so now we really have to see what this last fight looks like. Unstoppable has been out for the 7th. It's going to be very, very difficult to push in base. Will the Lashes have enough damage here? Seems like
That was
not.
a good stun by the 7th there. I think that stun actually saved that 7.
Big
Wow,
picks.
a lot of picks.
Yes. And there is 1-7 still, 1 Lash, sorry, still trying to run. Who is he? It is Disco Virtuoso. He does try to escape. A lot of
I
debuff
think they get
removers
the
and such.
pick on Disco.
And that is
Yeah.
not going to be enough.
That is not good. I mean, the Lashes died with Riju that week, but still.
Yeah, big fights. Only a 10k soul difference. So close. Both patrons are down. This game is literally down to the wire. Like, I'm loving this a lot. I'm loving to see how the Lashes are counteracting the fact that they cannot budge the 7s from the air. I see some stuff like Arctic Blast. Can you talk a little bit about that Arctic Blast pick for the Lashes?
Arctic Blast, I think, was picked just because it's, in general, a good item. Arctic Blast, I believe, has higher base damage and higher scaling than Cold Front. And it also increases the damage you deal to anyone that's hit by Arctic Blast. So it's
Damage
also a
multiplier,
relatively
yeah.
good support. Yes. Damage multipliers are always really good.
But yeah, Lashes do secure that urn, getting a little bit more of an advantage. But yeah, it seems like everything is brewing to one last final epic fight, and whoever wins this wins the game. Occurs excited.
Definitely. I think this last fight is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of decks. We see Mystic Reverb. We see Witchmail be picked. Interesting.
I think Witchmail is a good pick because 7 ult is going to be doing a lot of damage per tick. It's probably going to be enough to trigger that Witchmail in every single tick, which is going to be upgrading that cooldown speed so much.
Do you happen to know if Witchmail works before damage reduction, or is it only after damage reduction? So if I have an ability like a bomb for 700 and I have 50% armor, does Witchmail trigger 4 times, or does it only trigger?
Witchmail only triggers once when you reach a damage threshold, and I believe that damage threshold is before armor, just like how Berserker works.
I see. That makes sense. Because it would be really bad. I presume stacking Spirit is just smart. What? Can you press tab? What are these? Yeah. Almost all the 7s are very heavy into Spirit, which makes sense. Their ult is just so powerful. The Lashes are apparently allowed to do gun builds, though. We do see. I mean, this is like one of the nice things about Lash. You have just so much mobility. If any Lashes count out of position, there's gonna be 5 Lashes coming very quickly to save him. The 7s, although they're fast, they certainly do not have anywhere close to the same level of mobility. It's gonna become really relevant as to this last fight.
I believe mid-boss is about to be up. Mid-boss is up right now.
Oh god, mid-boss is dangerous. I mean, how much did mid-boss bat? Oh my god, I cannot speak. How much did mid-boss? God, why can I not say mid-boss?
Nice job.
I know, right? Mid-boss really matters when you have these like elongated fights, right? But at the end of the day, if you have like a 2-player, 3-player advantage enough for you to do mid-boss, at this point in the game, you just win the game. You don't need to go and do mid-boss, right?
Yeah.
Even one pick might be enough.
I think whoever wins this mid-boss wins the game.
Yes.
And you can see both sides grouping up for this mid-boss.
Yes.
See a
Everyone's
Lash
getting ready.
possibly getting caught out of position here.
Oh, yes. Very,
Three
very
more
deep
lashes
enemy
come in
territory.
to
Does have
help him out.
4,000 health, though. Is that you?
No.
No. That is...
That's
Okay.
Disco.
Oh, mid is starting. The 7s are gonna force mid right now, and boy, can they do a lot of damage. One of the Lashes trying to
The
contest.
7s are going to be shredding that mid.
Yes. I do already hear. I hear the ult. It is gonna be an incredible, and I mean incredible amount of work.
Yeah. Those 7s, along with being able to deny that, are also just shredding that mid boss with the ult.
Yes. But they wasted
We
their
see a
ults and they're
great
unstoppable
flash
staying in
ult
the
there.
air. Now that the mid boss
Yeah.
is going down, isn't that when they need
Riju
them the
is going
most?
down. The 7s are down 2 people while the Lashes have everyone.
And the Lashes grab
The
mid
Lash
boss.
is
They're all
stealing.
solo. They're well within like range, but that is not gonna
And
matter.
that's game.
That is game. GG. The Lashes have done it. Are you not proud of yourself, Eternus? Are you not proud?
I think the alternate timeline version of me expected this, but I thought this would have been a really, really clear 7.
Yeah, I mean, I also thought it would be a very 7-favorite match. But yeah, one last 7 dice for the cause. Will the Lash have enough gun damage to take this mid-boss? Probably not.
I mean, they have 20, 30 seconds. There's not much that 7 can do.
It is so much harder to
Not
punch the
anything they
mid-boss
can do.
now, right?
Yeah.
And
And
GG,
that's
the
game.
Lashes have it.
Unfortunately, these games did not have any player interviews in them because these were cast on replay. It'll be the same with the Movi Krill versus Bebop game coming up very shortly. I am out and about for the latter half of May, so this game was filmed way ahead of its release schedule. I think you'll enjoy the rest of the videos, though. Have a good day, and don't forget to like and subscribe.